the gas pressure thing and all that stuff. Well, the funny thing is, like when I was 12, in visions, I was shown that stuff, exactly what I made.
Okay.
It's so weird. So I always thought that it was gonna end up being like a teacher or whatever. I don't know.
Pull your jeans up. I don't know. Pull your jeans
Sorry?
up.
Sorry?
Just talking to my kid.
Oh.
Jeans around her hips.
Yeah.
Looks like a scruffian. Curly hair, so it like just looks a mess. So at that stage where it's like really scruffy, you can't quite tuck it behind her ears, and it's just all in her face. She just looks like a just looks scruffy.
Yep. Also depends on the weather, by the way. When things get dry and cold, then it'll get even worse. My hair is always terrible during this type of weather.
Thought we'd got a few more people because it's our clocks have gone. What is it? Back an hour.
It's the winter depression, man.
Yeah, watch in a few minutes. They'll start jumping in, maybe 10 minutes till the show.
When do the Americans' clocks go
Riley
back?
always jumps in when you start it.
Who? Who are you talking
It's
about?
gonna be it's gonna be 9 in the morning when the show starts. So it's 8:43 a.m. right now in Texas.
For you, the show would have normally started by now, wouldn't it, Jose?
Yeah, at 8 in the morning, and now
Yeah.
it's gonna be starting at 9 in the morning.
Yeah, till your clocks go back.
That's what I woke up like 8 in the morning, and I looked like, damn, I missed the show. Let me see. I said like nothing live. Let me see on the on the Skype, and the link was there. So yeah, an hour later. Doctor Strange bullshit, time manipulation going on here, Doctor Bullshit.
Gotta hide that seasonal change.
What if it never changed? We didn't have to change. What will happen? It keep pushing an hour all every year, or not?
But I think you'd notice the abrupt change in level of light and the type of weather. You know, just it's just a way of stopping you from seeing what's going on. Have a
Yeah,
gradual
pretty
change.
much.
We have an abrupt change when the seasons change.
Yeah, even we feel it because if we are used to our internal alarm clocks wake us at a certain time, that hour is gonna hurt us either before or after.
Nearly finished. Okay, off you go. You're free. Let's put these socks on though. Went to a midwife appointment today.
Everything all right?
Yeah, listen to our next Sprog's heartbeat. Exciting stuff. Right, where are your jeans? Oi, put your legs in, please. So when did you get your P900, Jose?
It was mailed yesterday, so in the next few days I will have it on hand.
Bet you're well excited.
Yes, I am. I was watching tutorials on how to do the manual focus and focus lock on the distance and that details. I
Cool.
think that's what I'm gonna need more
Well,
guidance.
you'll immediately be ahead of the curve with Ranty then, because Anthony's been trying to convince him to learn how to use focus lock since he got the camera and he still doesn't use it.
Yeah. I'm watching those, and there's some techniques when you start zooming in, start pressing the manual button at the same time. Like if it was to zoom with both hands, and the focus stay the longest it goes, then the manual focus start catching whatever in the distance. Some tricks some guy told me, and he showed different footage with automatic versus the manual doing it that mode, and it works really good. So I'm gonna try all those little techniques.
Cool.
And then to stream live, you see, you looking through the P900. That's cool too.
Yo.
I know who the anonymous donor was. I'm not going to tell you, but I know who it is.
Yeah, awesome.
We have such a fantastic community.
Yeah, that's really, really nice, man. I really appreciate it. And who knows, maybe I'm gonna hit a big prize someday, or some big blessing. I'm gonna get a big chunk of money, and then I'll be able to just pass the P900 to somebody else. Somebody starting wanting to do this same thing I want to do, and that's it. Like pass it, pay forward, pass it forward.
Yeah, people genuinely, most of the time, want to see others in this community succeed. Don't get me wrong, I know it's got its corner of, how would you term them? They're not anti-flat earth. Kind of, how would you describe the people that are flat earthers but are like calling everyone shills and generally against other flat
Yeah,
earthers?
You call them trolls.
yeah, disruptors, but yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a term like not too aggressive and not too soft. Yeah.
Because they are the smallest corner of this internet. We've got the flat earthers, pretty small corner. Then you've got anti-flat earthers, very small corner. Then you've got anti-flat earth, flat earthers, which is just like
Yeah.
this tiny little corner that makes a lot of noise.
Yes, indeed.
Maybe they are the shills.
Maybe, it's hard to know. Certainly people like MGTV I'd put into that category.
There is
Or maybe
so
they just like me.
on my GoFundMe I had three donors, right? I had two $25 and one $100 donor. Uh, so the $100 donor, I know who it was, but the person told me to put him anonymous, so people don't go in the page and see who it was.
Right.
So because she forgot, right? And then there was Sandra P1000. She gave me $25, and then Soundly he sent me a private message. He said, "Hey, Jose, I donated $25 to your campaign. Good luck." I go like, "Holy shit, thanks, man."
Good of him.
And
That's a decent thing
so
Soundly's ever done.
yeah, and then I went to the GoFundMe and I found just Sandra, the $100 anonymous donor, and then this other name. And I go like, holy shit, let me just put him anonymous just in case. And then underneath the message, he said like, do more Pontchartrain observations. I said like, yeah, this is Soundly. Then he gave me his real name, with the card. So I googled him, and he's a professional, which I'm not gonna dox him, and he's somebody, he's a not a wealthy person. I'm not gonna call it, but I think he got a good life and a good job and all that stuff. And And yeah, it's him. So I just decided to put in anonymous because I didn't want people to. It was so easy to see who the donor was and see the message on the need, do more punctuatory observations, and then people wanted maybe to attack him on his personal life. So I just decided to put in anonymous. That's my take on it.
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of their tactics. Attack the message that they've got to put forward. Don't attack them. Who cares who's putting this message on? Who cares what motivates them? Who
Yeah,
cares if they're being paid? Makes no difference. The message that they put out is what you attack. Their nonsense is what you attack.
exactly. Yeah.
Obviously, it's hard not to question the motivations of some of these people, but you're more likely than not never going to know.
Well,
True that. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a lot of trouble basically sizing up some of these people's drives, why they're doing it, really. And it's always a combination of factors, but you can tell a lot by the different moods and the different tactics they apply.
Yeah, but nothing. I don't see that necessarily because let's say me, I'm a poor guy. I'm a very how would you say, middle the society. I'm not a very wealthy. I don't have a really good job. I'm struggling with my bills. If I get approached by the freaking FBI and tells me, dude, this is what we got for you. We're gonna give you, I don't know, an annual certain thing, or we're gonna give you a little treat of this certain amount of money. You just have to say this, you just have to present this, and you have to keep going, let's say, to the freaking flatter debate, and you're gonna go to all these flatter panels, and you're gonna become the flatter debunker that we need, like jumping from the flatter side. I'm just putting a little situation. Excuse me. Now, am I going to take that offer or not? Who knows? I mean, who knows what the people motivation or inspiration or personal life says? Maybe I just want to live the struggle and just live an easy life to pay the bills and live chill and fart and not working. And maybe I'll take the offer. But I'm not like that because I like scruffing it off. I like freaking sweating and hurting and getting boo-boos in my hands stuck in freaking shelves in the supermarket. So it depends on how genuine the people are, how real, how do we want to reach the truth. And let's say I accept that. What is going to be my approach? Because I'm still going to be the same person. So my arguments are not going to be that strong because I'm not going to be able to do a good debate against the flatter or because my struggle is the same. Now, the person that accept the offer from the globe side, they say like, yeah, all right, I'll take it. I'm gonna just start ripping the flatter, and this is the book they give you, and they give you a freaking file and stuff, information for you to debunk flatter. But maybe that person is a little slow in the mind, or he has anxiety, some kind of condition that autism that is not going to be able to perform really well versus other one is more eloquent. It's not that they tell you you're going to play this part, you're going to play the part of the bunker, but you are the one, the performer, and the human nature is going to let you perform or not. I don't know, I ranted too much and I didn't say nothing,
It's good.
3 minutes.
I agree. A lot of these people apply a script and they don't really understand the mechanisms that they're defending. And it becomes very obvious when you ask in detail questions. That's what you got me for.
I want to walk the doggies.
Dog? What?
Yeah, that's my routine in the mornings. I gotta walk my doggies.
Yeah.
You got the back chat, Owen?
Yeah.
You there, Owen?
Yeah.
How long we got? A little bit more than 3 minutes. 4 minutes.
It would be nice if Riley would actually take up like security duty once in a while.
A bit quiet, Arwin. Say that again.
I said it would be nice if Riley would actually take up security duty again, instead of just coming on the show and just taking up all the attention.
He does monitor the back
So-
chat.
Yeah, but once he gets going,
If you ever screen shares, you'll see that he's got the back chat open.
no, but he doesn't pay a lot of attention.
Yeah, I'll agree. When he
he's
gets sniped,
talking,
it's usually because Anthony's
talks a
not
lot.
listening. And I'll say, whoever has joined the show, hello, hello. And Anthony keeps talking because he's in his stride.
Yeah.
Two minutes. Check, check, check. Welcome. Right, it's time to share this bad boy on Facebook.
Really? How many subscribers you have there?
You got a Facebook, Arwin?
No.
Yeah, Facebook is about friends list, you know.
Right.
So yeah, you can call it subscribers,
Friends.
pretty much.
Subscribers. Nathan doesn't have any friends. Yeah, subscribers. But yeah, I actually don't really like being streamed on Facebook because of the data leeching they do.
Hello, sausage. Hello.
Yeah, I was in MySpace before, and then Facebook came along, and I got into the Facebook a few years ago.
Nah, I hate that kind of networks.
Hello.
Just don't like it.
Bye-bye.
And then YouTube.
Bye-bye.
I go into YouTube, and I wanted to upload a little video with a mini camcorder I had, so I created my channel like freaking almost 10 years ago, probably.
Cool. I went specifically on YouTube to do all this.
Yeah, but I got my family from Puerto Rico. They want to keep track and send me little, cards and photos and share stuff with me. So that's Facebook is a little more easier. They posted in the wall, and I got like a notification. Your mom posted something new. To go check it out. So yeah, it's pretty cool in that sense. I don't post a lot.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and there's also a PayPal link in the info box below the video. But most importantly, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. Now we are joined by The Plain Truth, Jose and Arwin. Good to have you all.
See how I snuck in there right at the right time?
Yeah, you got the first name in, even though you haven't been here. Good to have you, Travis. How you doing, Jose? How you doing, Arwin?
We all live in a yellow submarine. Scurvy's for everybody. Arr!
How about you, Arwin? You good?
Yeah, sure.
So, before the show started, we were discussing Jose and his new camera, which you'll hopefully get sometime this week. But despite the lack of a P900, any signs of curvature?
Nope.
No, definitely.
Nope, not yet.
No? Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety, quite specifically, Arwin?
No.
Nah.
What's that?
Earth turn.
Oh.
This is the easiest point where you can discern where begging the question fallacy is when you start talking about stars and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah,
Doesn't
got
really
to
prove
assume
the
R.
notion, though.
Absolutely. Any evidence of that Earth radius?
Nope.
Nope.
No, no evidence of R. What about gas pressure without a container?
Oh, no, they keep proposing the pressure gradient things, but first of all, where is the air we breathe comes from? We need a pressurized system, you know? Don't talk about the gradients, let's talk about the pressure first, and then we talk about gradients.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely correct. If you're going to have a gas pressure gradient, you must first have gas pressure. So, where do you get the gas pressure without a container? Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
Wait.
Oh, wait.
I have
There's
speculated.
a late comer.
Maybe.
Go, Arvin, go.
Yeah. Well, maybe if we go from the Einsteinian gravity perspective, if there are like gravity fields, then maybe you could imagine that gravity, when it concerns matter, is like a magnetic field, and it has different types of fields of the gravity effect over distances. So if you assume that that could happen, then maybe at the upper layer of the Earth, the gravity is having this very strong barrier that is so strong that it can actually be enough to repel gas in such a fashion that it could keep it going beyond a certain line. And other objects that would go through this gravity barrier, which is stronger than on the rest of the Earth, basically, could perhaps go through it very roughly as being smacked around.
It's a lovely story. Very nice.
Yeah, can you start
Is
back
that-
at the part where there was a presupposition? Go back to that part.
That's the mind of God
Einstein
for the super
gravity.
chat. Thank you very much. So, what about gravity then? Is there actually any scientific evidence of gravity?
Nope.
Yeah, no. Because
No.
they want to
Yeah,
throw this
no.
they want to throw this gravity into the pressurized system. They want to just mix all these presuppositions together one to another. So it's a bullshit on top of a bullshit. Sorry about that.
Fair enough. What about a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of that presupposed spherical Earth? Any signs of that?
Sure, why not?
Sure, why not? Any actual evidence though?
It's in school textbooks, you know, as a very colorful, layered ball Earth. So it must be true, right? Nah.
What? It must be true if they teach it at school. Well, I would say yes. It must be true if you're to teach it at a school. So
To be
I would say
fair,
your
Nathan-
assertion's correct, but the assertion of a molten iron core, no.
To be fair, Nathan, They are really beautiful drawings.
Oh, they're lovely illustrations, are we? I love an illustration
I
as part of
really
my
love them,
paradigm.
almost nostalgically. Like in
Nah.
encyclopedia, those things were always the first that I would look up.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's what you want. A nice painting to give you your world view and your religion.
Always look at the pictures first.
Absolutely.
Text is boring. It's all too sciencey.
Damn those words.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that concludes the housekeeping.
Awesome.
Now, Anthony Riley's today. He's busy doing homework, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Ranty put a new video, but I haven't watched it yet. I'm being lazy. I'm catching up.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of Ranty's videos over the weekend. There's a few people in the chat saying that he debunked me. And yeah, I was chatting with Ranty last night at great length, compiling various bits of information that he got from his 100-meter run, which, as I say, I didn't actually see the video for it, but he showed me the end results. And it was exactly as expected. Half the ring was missing. Now, he's got a massive aperture on his camera that he used. And I said to him, why didn't you just use the camera phone? You know, the limitation of the apertures, what gives you your diffraction limit. So if you're going to use a massive aperture on the P1000, it's going to be very difficult to get this effect because you've got zoom. You know, that's the diffraction limit. That's what dictates.
Unless you use a massive distance.
Well, he didn't. He used 100 meters. Hey, Physics Warrior.
Hey all, hi Nathan.
Good to have you. So yeah, I said you could have just done this in about 10 meters with your camera phone, and it would have been far easier. But yeah, you've got three aspects as far as I'm concerned. So I'll preface the first by saying on a clear day. So assuming that you can see as much as you can see, there's no atmospheric interference. On a clear day, there's only two things that limit how much things will disappear from the bottom up. One, how much zoom you've got. That would be the diffraction limit of the camera, purely dictated by the aperture size. Hey, Earth Flattener, good to have you.
Hello. Hi.
So that's point one, the aperture size. In Ranty's case, massive. But we'll move past that quickly and go on to the bit that I like to focus on, which is the viewing angle. The limitation of the viewing angle is what causes things to disappear from the bottom up. There will be an angle to the bottom of stuff that reduces it to the degree that it is no longer resolvable. It is too small to see by virtue of its limited angle. Hello, Mark Doxy, good to have you.
Hello, folks.
Hello,
Hey.
Nice new avatar. What's that then? Let's have a little look.
That's Peyton Pier.
Yeah, very nice. I think I've seen that picture before. Nice though.
Yeah, if you look at the horizon, it's just dead flat.
Your work, Mark, the stuff that you send on Skype, is beautiful. I mean, it's truly,
Thank you.
truly beautiful photography. It gives me goosebumps just talking about it. Hey, Flat Earth Vegan Goy.
Hey,
Are you being paid to be here? Come on, fess up. Shame the devil. No?
That's not a no, I'm hearing.
I didn't hear a no.
who are you talking to me?
Yeah, I was just joking.
Yeah. Well, I just discovered the block thing on the. I didn't know we could block people. It's really much more pleasant over there now, so I enjoy that.
Yeah, you can block people in the chat. You can report them in the chat. For the benefit of the audience, I'll show you what we're talking about, just because whenever anyone used to discuss this, I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. So on the chat, there's these three little dots, and if you click on them, you've got all sorts of things that you can do to various participants in the chat. It is a free-for-all. While I do a little bit of moderation in there, if someone's pissing you off, just block them.
Sure. And I want to add to this, Nathan. There is such thing as a clear day. There are clear days, but the bowlers say there is never a clear day. And I said, like, how come? You know, like, really? No, there are clear days. They say no. This is bullshit.
Hello, B500.
A new guest? No, I don't think so.
Oh,
Took my eyes off the screen for a minute, and you're like, hello?
Yeah, there are some things when you look in the distance in the horizon and you see the inferior mirage and the mirroring effects and this compression really bad, just you can see it with your own eyes. that's not a very clear day. Other days you just see it crystal clear. The line, the horizon, you don't see any mirroring effects, and the boats, that's a clear day. They say no, that's not a clear day.
Why? Because you've got the diffraction limit of the camera visible.
I guess, yeah.
All right. Well, that's becoming more and more clear as time goes by, so unlucky. We knew that the calculator had hijacked perspective, but now we're figuring out what actually happens when you look out in the distance, and the reality is you have a very limited angle to anything below the midpoint of the aperture that you're looking through. So first you work out what the angular resolution of the equipment or eye that you are using is. From there you can calculate what the angle of attack is, and you can pretty much work out what you will be missing from the bottom up based on the angle of view to that item. The more limited the angle, and that gets more limited with distance, shock horror, the more likely you will lose it from the bottom up. It is, what's the word? This is a fact of life. There is no way around it. Every single time you look at anything in the distance, you have angles involved, and the most limited angle to whatever it is you see in the distance will dictate that it will disappear from bottom up, because you cannot resolve the information in that angle. If you are talking about a camera and you look into the distance and you see something that is below the midpoint of that camera, it will be within a limited frame of reference in terms of its angle. And the lower you go, the smaller that angle becomes. Therefore, at a given point, that angle will only be able to resolve a couple of pixels. Now that might be a foot, it might be a millimeter, it makes no difference, it always happens. The angle of view will always decrease towards the bottom of things. That's just a fact. You can't get around it. We don't have one straight line in an orthographic view between us, the observer, and the target. We have an angle of view to whatever it is we're looking at. And that angle is limited from the midpoint down, and gets more limited the further down you go, till eventually the thing is too small to resolve. And what do you know? That means it disappears. Doesn't mean there's a curve. It means that that's the angle of attack limiting your view and your ability to resolve something at that angle. That's all it is.
And I cannot conceive when they say the stuff start disappearing. If I'm a 6-foot high person standing on the beach, getting my feet wet, I'm standing on the beach and stuff starting getting disappear at 6 miles, start getting disappear from the bottom up. I call that bullshit, because I have caught observations to 5, 6, and 7 miles. That's double the 3 miles, and I can see down to the bottom. 3 miles disappearing? No, I call BS to that.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, the first thing you need to figure out is what the diffraction limit is of your camera. And by diffraction limit, as I've said a few times, because a few people say, well, what's happening out on the surface at the distance that you're looking at is the diffraction. No, not at all. Diffraction is at the camera end and is dictated or limited, depending on which way you're looking at it, by the aperture. That's what gives you the amount that you can resolve at a given distance, how much zoom you have. So the angular resolution limit, as it was formerly known, is actually the diffraction limit. That's what dictates how far you can see, how much zoom you have in simple terms. But the angle of view is what will cause the limitation of things from bottom up to disappear. The more limited the angle, the less you can resolve. It's as simple as that. The further things get away, the more limited their angle becomes, increasing the likelihood, the further you back away from it, that it's going to start to vanish. And eventually it will vanish. Prior to it vanishing, it will distort, it will stretch. And then it'll go.
Yes, indeed.
Hey Nathan, fake Arwin is in chat. You block.
Which one's the fake one? Tell me something he said, Arwin.
It's just a fake Arwin in chat. He stole all my content.
Fake Arwin stole all my videos. Is that the one? Is that the fake one?
I'm not saying anything. It's all him.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just. There you go.
So yes, that's the fake one.
Bye bye, fake Arwin.
Oh, I didn't know he was a fake.
You've been chatting with the fake Arwin. I get that all the time. People say, "Why were you so rude to me in whoever Roxanne's chat, and I'm like, who's Roxanne? You know what I mean? I've not been in anybody's chat.
See, I posted a link over in the side there. It's kind of interesting too. You probably talked about it before, but the Russians have only been able to drill down to about 12,000 meters, and that's it. They hit rock bottom, and no one's ever been able to ever dig any farther than that. I find that I'm surprised they can't get to their molten core.
Indeed, super deep borehole.
Having to scratch the surface of Earth, bro. Nobody has.
Yeah, Anthony likes to use that example as well because the seismology was wrong. What they predicted with the seismology assessment of that site was that it would get more dense, and it didn't. It got less dense.
Arwen, can you leave it?
What, the trolls constantly adding themselves?
But clearly it's me.
That's Earth Flattener that does that, Arwen. We've explained this at least twice.
Oh.
And I put it into the back chat every day that I'm doing it.
Arwen's only just woken up, clearly.
It
Where's
makes
Anthony?
it really hard to snipe out people.
Multi Tom Tom. Anthony's doing a bit of homework. So he's actually working on his would it be called, what's it called? A dissertation, I suppose? Yeah, he's working on that.
He's working on his project. Yeah.
Yep. Busy bee. Did chat to him this morning. He's like, look, I'm working on this. And I could hear his better half in the background going, you need to be working. And I'm like, I just want to ask you about this. What shape is the world? How are you doing?
Hello, you alright?
Very well. How are you doing?
Yeah, all good.
So yeah, so Anthony's not going to be here today.
So no talk about floating eggs then?
You brought it up.
No cherry tomatoes.
Oh yeah, cherry tomatoes. Oh God.
They're all so
Please.
happy.
No.
They're so happy.
The reification fallacy, Arwen. You can't have a happy cherry tomato.
Yeah, yet he brings it up all the time.
Arwen knows that. He's not stupid.
How you doing, Event Horizon? So you're
He
new.
was
What
smacking
shape is?
his keyboard for the mute.
What? Yeah, we didn't hear you, by the way, Event Horizon. I don't know if your mic shagged. What side of the fence do you sit? What shape is the world?
Oh, definitely flat. Definitely
You're on the flat side.
Yeah, of course. Wouldn't have any other way, mate.
That's an interesting question. Arwen, what side of the fence you sit on? Is it flat? Is it a globe? What do you think?
Well, the Earth definitely seems to be geometrically flat, straight. And other than that, yeah, well, with that fact, it can't really be a globe. So, whatever it is, maybe the land masses, when all put together, will actually suggest a globe. But it's physically not that. So then spatial anomalies could be drafted in to explain it in another fashion that can actually include physical flatness. And that's where you get the rectangular looping model, for starters.
Does that answer your question, Jose?
He answers my question, yeah. In general, it's flat, yeah. It cannot be a globe, so I'll take that as a flat.
Yes.
Did you doubt Arwen's position?
No. I was pretty sure. I just wanted to stamp it on, like, all right, so he's not a glober, he's a flat earther, okay.
Yeah, I went to Flatty.
I'm just picking on you guys.
You're
You're
just
right,
teasing.
Arwen.
You're just teasing us.
Yeah, I like teasing Arwen a little bit. I like trolling Arwen a little bit. It's just appreciation, You gotta smile a little bit, Arwen, a little more.
Arwen gets more than he deserves.
Just flicking through his spell book to curse
Really?
you.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm wearing my tinfoil hat today, so I think it's gonna slip out of me, whatever curse he throw at me.
I wouldn't worry. He needs a real human hair for that voodoo doll. He'll get it one day.
Good
I just
afternoon,
wanted
gentlemen.
to.
How you doing?
Hey, Event Horizon, good to hear you.
How you doing? I thought I'd just jump in quickly whilst there was a break. Say I'm here. Just going to put myself on mute. I'll be back in a second. All right.
No worries.
I just wanted to bring up a point about the moon landings. And when I've seen quite a few people get stumped when they say, "Oh, well, we put something on the moon and you can shine a laser at it and it reflects back." But then I was looking on the Glober's wiki, and I'm not sure if I can present myself because my PC mic is not working. I'm on my iPad right now. Let me see if I can put the camera on and then show you my screen, if that's all right.
Yeah, go
One
ahead.
second. But basically, the thing is, it says here on the wiki that they've been shooting lasers and reflecting beams off the moon since 1962, before they even went to the moon.
Yeah,
I've
that's
heard loads
correct.
of people get stumped on that.
Yeah, that's one of the explanations. Personally, I prefer to debunk the medium and just ask how we have gas pressure here on Earth if we're supposedly in a vacuum. But that aside, yeah, absolutely, they were bouncing stuff off the moon before they dropped the reflectors on the Apollo missions. Allegedly dropped something in the Apollo missions.
Like the waving flag.
Why aren't there any pictures of this device they dropped off?
But there are pictures of the reflectors.
Really?
Yeah, just Google it. You'll find pictures and images of the reflectors.
From the original footage?
Yeah, they look like something out of a 1970s set, like made out of egg cups.
Stanley Kubrick special.
Yeah, they do. It looks like a set designer would make them.
Cool.
It's funny that he did 2001: A Space Odyssey the year before the so-called moon launch.
Coincidence? Oh, did we just get this year the Man on the Moon movie? How's it called?
First Man.
Whatever. Yep. So we get the movie today. Are we gonna see a moon landing this year? Huh.
Okay, your screen's presented.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it properly, but next time my mic's broken on my PC. So but yeah, this is basically the wiki, and it basically shows it right here that since 1962 they've been doing that. So please, if people ever bring up the moon landings and say that it was legit because of those things sitting on the moon, just please bring them to this page and debunk them quickly. That's all.
One of the videos I made quite some time ago about Brian Cox was when he went to the observatory that actually fires the laser at these reflectors, and then a little computer says, yeah, we got 2 or 3 photons back. And he didn't understand the point of going there. He had to have the producer explain it to him in no uncertain terms. He came across as incredibly stupid, did Brian Cox, to be perfectly honest. But the thing that I found the most interesting was how much this, professor was being led by the director about what he was going to say and the importance of it. It's like, well, surely you're the professor. Why is it a TV producer's having to lead you about what's being said and the reasons for it being said? And indeed, what the thing even does and where they were even going. He didn't know anything. Like, literally, he knew nothing. It was amazing. And this is a poster child for the heliocentric religion. Dr. Brian Cox.
Call him Priest Brian Cox.
Maybe.
Yeah, heliocentric priest, absolutely. He's not a scientist, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But he maybe also be learning these things not out of actual interest, but just out of acting. So he just learns routines in how to respond.
I mean, if you
And
look
that's
into,
why he can't really improvise. That could be an explanation.
if you look into some of the stories about when he was in D-Ream, he was the annoying little twat that used to get gaffer taped to the gantry, the lighting gantry. That's what they used to do to him. So, from an annoying little twat in a crap band to Dr. Brian Cox, telling us all about how the universe works and walking around CERN.
Yeah, I can't stand him. I can't stomach him at all. I just can't stand him. He's so just disingenuous, just like a total liar. Do you know what I mean? Just lies through his teeth.
Hey, music.
How's it, Nathan?
The panel is now full, so if you do want to join, just mention it in the chat. If you've got some specific point that you want to mention, and I'll ask one of our guests to leave.
I'll drop off.
Flattener, I'd be happy to go to trade spots with a baller.
Oh no, maybe not. We're all good.
I vote for Mark Doxy to leave.
I'm not asking anybody to leave.
Oh,
If somebody in the
somebody
chat
already left.
actually asks,
I like Mark
if
Doxy.
somebody
Flat
asks,
Earth Vegan Goy left, so.
Do not, if you see a CGI Ranty joining, please kick him spontaneously, because now CGI Ranty is a suck from Ranty, but then is a suck of CGI Ranty. So there's two CGI Ranties, a fake
joking.
CGI Ranty.
there's a CGI ranty sock. So
That is so meta.
that's bonkers.
Let's go back to the moon landing and James Bond. Does anybody remember the film Diamonds Are Forever?
Oh yes, absolutely. When they chase him in slow motion and in character, that's brilliant.
It had nothing to do with the plot of the film, but they had this mock-up of the moon landing. It was a real, I don't know, it was satire, obviously. The moon landing is a total hoax, and that was in 1972, just after the moon landings had finished.
Or they were already planning to make a movie about the actual event.
Did you see the film, Arwen? Did you see Diamonds Are Forever?
Yeah, I know. I'm just playing devil's advocate for a
A
moment.
very young Sean
okay.
Connery.
There's bound to be a lot more movies made about this because it's a lot easier than actually doing it, you know? So,
But everybody missed the point in 1972 when Diamonds Are Forever was the current film. You know, it was actually out and people were going to watch it. They missed the satire or the dig at Apollo that whoever was producing James Bond at the time was saying that the whole thing was a hoax.
of course, they were still enchanted by the glory being that special country.
So I've just got
Who
to,
won-
sorry to interrupt. I'm just going to point the comical nature of the chat at the moment. So you've got CGI Ranty going, yeah, he's going to have his account removed. It's like, CGI Ranty, you're a take on Ranty? Hello? Why are you on your high horse about someone cloning you?
Funny.
It just so boggles the mind to describe that to a third party would be nigh on impossible. Sorry, Mark.
why-
Sorry.
There's a fake political hillbilly in chat, by the way.
That's why this show is so amazing, because he had created so much content and ideas.
Right, I'm going to drop out because I've got to work on a video that I'm going to be releasing either later on tonight or tomorrow. So if anyone else wants to join, I'm sure I'll be able to free up a spot. I'm just going to sit here until, so just let me know, give me a shout and I'll drop out.
Absolute pleasure having you. You led the conversation beautifully. Thank you very much for joining. If you want to
No
promote your
problem.
video,
I'll be on soon anyway. I'll be back soon.
yeah, well, like I say,
Take
if you want to plug your video, rejoin. I'll even post it in the chat for you.
Well, I've got one video up. It's only like about 2 minutes long. You can play it now. Oh, no, I actually don't because it's your show. But yeah, when I sort out this video later, I will let you know. I'll probably be on tomorrow.
Cool. Thank you very much for joining.
Right.
It was nice to meet you.
Take care. See ya. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Take care, buddy.
Bye. Bye.
So, what are we going to talk about next?
I was quite into talking about the moon landings. That was a good subject.
So they say there's no need to take a 4K footage, not really a 4K, but a 1080, high quality footage from Earth to the moon, maybe do a little orbit in the moon and come back with 4K with throwing cameras everywhere. They say there's no need for that. And then in the other breath, they say, oh no, but we're still working on the machinery to throw it out there without getting damaged by the Van Allen belts and all this BS. I said, yeah, but you sent a bunch in the late 60s and early 70s. They said, yeah, but it's different technology. So they cannot use the old rocket and old technology, build an old rocket with analog, which is going to cost you a handful of millions of dollars to build it, and put a bunch of 4K cameras around it and give the people that, because people give NASA the money. They should give us at least some good footage. from the Earth to the moon and back. Put hundreds of hours of footage. We will see it all. They say there's no need for that.
Yeah, we'll just fly around Earth over and over and over again, and then cut the stream when it's inappropriate.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have got great images, haven't we? We've got loads of CGI from the ISS, but loads of pretty pictures from an unprovable medium.
Yeah, I just see it as a complete joke. I mean, I still see, obviously, there's a lot of flat earthers who take great pride in debunking the ISS. It's just a joke. I always recommend the same YouTuber. Go to Dilly Gill's channel and just watch how NASA are on the cutting edge of cinematography, and always have been.
Yeah, in the last show Geronism had a few days ago with Iro Landucci, it was the part 2. And they talk about this a lot, a big part of the show. And Iro presented a bunch of kind of the same videos we've seen, debunking the ISS because it's so BS on the augmented reality and the wires and all this stuff. But he breaks it down really good. So it's a recommended video for people that want to talk about this, debunking the ISS and space.
Absolutely. So yeah, I echo that. Iro Landucci basically explained how 50k, not a huge amount of money, will get you real-time processing with green screen technology. So he showed this guy, initially he's just on the back of a green screen. Then he interacts with certain pieces of set furniture, like a chair, that's actually there. But then he moves to the other side of the set and he just sits on a green box like you'd see in a Hollywood studio. And he's in a full apartment with a sofa and he's interacting with the green screen. This is 50 grand's worth of stuff. It's not like it's mega millions, not at all. Just incredible, but very, very realistic. And even at one stage, Jaron had to ask him, well, which bits of this is real and which bits are green screen? And he was like, it's all green screen. The only thing real here is the guy.
Yeah, well, I know. That was amazing here. And Iru knows about this because he worked in productions over there in his country or whatever. So he's got a background with green screen and this kind of technology. So he can catch it just with a glance of an eye. He said, this is CGI and this is real. So yeah, the guy I gotta give him credit.
Welcome back, Mark. You having some issues? Said, welcome back, Mark. You having some issues?
He's on mute at the moment.
He's got a different icon, so
no,
is
that's
it him?
his new icon. It's nice. I've seen the photo before, but it's just used it as an icon. Wow, this is riveting. I'm going to do some chat shout-outs. Hey, Pedro, good to have you. Howard, nice to see you. Bay, thanks for being here. Jay, good to see you. Blue Nigger, not very nice name. Good to see you anyway. That's we got La Breca. Thanks for being here. M Stone, nice to see you as well. Negator XX, thanks for joining the show. Multi Tom Tom, thanks for being here. Hey Dank, good to see you. Hey Peanuts, nice to see you as well. Hey Donny, hey Daz. That's we got David Reed, hello. Hey Mackenzie, being in our live chat, good to see you all. Fiddle the Figures, hello. Hey Ranty, is that really you?
It is.
Hey, good to see you.
Good to be here.
Not
Ranty
dead
the
then.
Curve Slayer.
Not dead then.
Is this
So
the
did you
first
find
show?
any curvature?
It is the
No.
first show, yeah.
No, not at all. I found a lot of inferior mirages though today.
We got stuff to show us, Ranty.
Oh, hang on, wait a minute. Just walked in.
Yay! It's good to have you here, Ranty. It really is. I was shouting at chat. That's what it resorted to. Hey, Wiz, what's that? What about Bob? Good to have you.
Hello. Hey, I was wondering if you could discuss maps.
That's Stephen Hawkins.
Maps and even Google Earth.
Sure,
why
don't see why not.
an actual depiction of the Earth be made?
Can you respond to a question? Or is this a recording?
What's this test at the track
Hello?
that people
You got a very poor
about?
connection. I've forgotten your name already. You've been on
What
before,
about
Bipod.
Bob?
What about Bob?
Hello?
You got a very poor connection. What about Bob?
Yeah, your sound
Can
is
you
all
hear me?
breaking up.
Okay. I'll try a different headset.
Just try to rejoin. That usually works.
Hopefully you'll rejoin.
You're
and,
up, Randy?
Sorry?
You are up.
Oh, I'm up.
I mean, I don't know. No, it's your turn now.
Oh, it's my turn. Right, okay.
We all want to see your marvelous work, man.
Well, I'm going to release this video in its entirety in a few minutes, so I'll upload it to my channel. So hopefully it'll just play a little bit, and I'll just pan across a tad. But can you see all this landmass here that seems to be looming? If I play the video, can you see floaty land here?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, all that land is joined up, and I've seen it many a time from this location. So all this nonsense about looming and seeing floaty land, it isn't looming or floaty land. It is actually the land. It's just that there's an inferior mirage underneath it. I've filmed these loads of times, this Welsh Mountains, and obviously quite a lot of it is blurred out. You don't see it at all. But the other part of it, you do. And you get this inferior mirage going on. So this video I will be releasing today. So the atmosphere is absolutely blocking off the bottom of these mountains so that you cannot see them. So let's suppose there was a boat that you should be able to see near these wind turbines, for instance. You wouldn't see it because the atmosphere would be blocking it. I've got another couple of videos that I might look at. This one. This is zooming into the buildings of Barrow, which you guys have seen many a time. But look at this.
Oh, yeah, the mirroring is crazy, ridiculous.
And the thing is, this is the conditions that the Globers say this is ideal for seeing the curve, because it was cold air, right? So it wasn't warm. I mean, I think it was about 6 degrees this morning when I filmed this. The water temperature, I would guess, is around that or maybe less. But there wouldn't be a massive difference between the two. And they would say, oh, yeah, absolute perfect conditions for non-refraction. So everybody watching right now, this is non-refraction, everybody. This is non-refraction, apparently, according to the globe. Yeah.
So you're telling me the air temperature versus the water was very similar to each other?
Yes. Pause it. That's the lighthouse. Man, I love your Pina 1000. This is fantastic. So
that is the lighthouse, yeah.
That's the lighthouse. Check out what's underneath it.
Yeah, the lighthouse.
It's the basement.
It's the basement. It's the mud flood
it.
part of the lighthouse.
Antipodal lighthouses, awesome.
But what we should see here is like this building here. We know there's more buildings that we've seen in the other stuff, but it's completely blurred out. Now, it's not the ocean that's risen up higher than, because I'm actually at the top of the sea wall here and it's at low tide. So my camera height is about 50 feet above actual sea level at this time. So I should be able to see all those buildings that I've filmed, not from the 1 foot observation, but as the, I did the control image where we see all the buildings. So all the buildings that are in this location are hidden. Now, they're only hidden, not hidden by the curvature of the Earth, not hidden by a wall of water. They're hidden by the inferior mirage. It's so evident in today's conditions that, I mean, everything that I've been saying about the atmosphere is causing the blockage. This is just another perfect example of that. So when the Globers, like I say, they say, oh yeah, cold weather, this is what you need for seeing the globe, right? Well, this is cold weather. No, we don't see the globe. We see blockage because the stuff that we shouldn't see, yeah? Well, anything that we should see is blocked by this inferior mirage. It's not the curve of the Earth. You guys know this. You've seen this footage many a times.
It's fractal looming.
This footage is really good, Randy.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Awesome.
We also
look at that floating city right there.
And here we have obviously more more land. So this is land that I've filmed many a time in its entirety down to the actual, essentially the sea. And what it is, it's floating. It's this here where my cursor is now is the sky being miraged down and causing a blockage that you can't see the land anymore. So
Ranty, on another day, what would we see here?
You would see just land all the way down. I mean, this is what you would see. This I've filmed this before. This it's like a mast. I have it on another video, and you see the land taper off all the way down.
I know it won't be the P1000 footage, but for comparison, is there any chance you can bring up the old footage where you have caught it?
I'd have to search for it and get my 3 terabyte drive working, because at the minute it's not working.
No,
he's going to present it on his own. Hang on.
But this has been on multiple occasions been presented.
Multiple occasions, yeah. And one other thing, I did take a video of the boat. Let me just. Actually, which one shall I show you? Because I want to get the one that I'm actually. Yeah, this will do. But what you actually see here is you see the boat cresting the sky. Essentially, it's not actually cresting the water. So when we're looking at the front of the boat, it's not splitting the water, it's splitting the, if you were looking at it, you would say it was splitting the sky, because it's not actually on the water as such, at the front of it. The back of it is because it's all disturbed all the air, but the front part of it hasn't. It looks like it's actually floating on the air. And again, this is just another example of the inferior mirage that's actually in play right now. But the boat is moving into that, which gives it the appearance that it's actually floating on the sky.
What is a distance from you to the boat? Because the path of the boat, just a ballpark.
From recollection, knowing that this boat takes the same journey every time it goes over to the Isle of Man, it's between 6.5 and 7 miles away.
Right. Yeah, it's really clear, man. Beautiful.
Well, my
Ranty, can I just ask you a question quickly? Yeah, I was wondering, because I'm in the process of making a video right now, and I wanted to use some of your footage as proof of the flat Earth. Is there any chance I could use that? Is that okay?
Of course you can, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Anyone can.
All right, thank you. All right, back to making my video. All right, take care, Dad. See ya.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, thanks, bye. I'll definitely put your name up on there as well, so everyone knows it's yours.
Okay,
right,
thanks.
See you. All right, bye.
And link to his channel in your box as well.
Will do, definitely.
So yeah, so this boat isn't, if you just look at it if I just pause it, and you'll actually see the front of it seems to be cresting in the air, and we know that it's not floating. It's on the water, and we've said it before. Fake waves. I think we're getting an idea now that it's the inferior mirage causing these fake waves, these wispy waves that aren't actually the top of the water. The water extends beyond that.
You can see a faint horizon behind it, though, or at least I can on my nice big screen.
Well, you're seeing it for the first time as I'm actually seeing it, because I've literally just walked in and loaded them onto the PC. So I filmed these this morning.
I mean, I've seen the other stuff. You've got the sea truck, and as you just rightly pointed out, it's always the same distance, right? Look how big it is. It's just, I don't know, the P1000's ace.
And this is obviously a bit further on. I think I filmed this from the car, so it's a bit unsteady, this one.
I mean, the difference is literally, you could, if someone was stood on deck, you could probably make them out with the P1000. You definitely could not with the PU900 at this distance.
No, it's really clear.
Look how clear it is.
Really
so big.
It is really clear, isn't it? My goodness.
7 miles these are.
But what you'll notice something in a minute, Nathan. What do you see there?
Oh wow, that's cool. Oh, that's something we've not seen before.
That's good.
That's ace. Quick, let's have another look at that.
You'll see some more in a minute.
So the bottoms of them, you are actually seeing the mirage. So where I've said it before and asserted it on a white pole, so you've just got to take my word for it that it's miraging down upon itself as it squashes through the limited angle. On this, oh, look at those blades. Oh, isn't that wonderful? Oh, this is epic.
You'll see it again in a minute. I know what which ones you're looking for because.
Well, listen, doesn't this
Oh,
help?
beautiful! Look at that.
Oh, look at that! That is superb. Oh, Ranty.
I'll tell you one thing I definitely don't see any curvature anywhere.
Yeah,
And anybody that listens to curvature is disingenuous and dishonest and needs to go to hospital.
Can't we talk about the distance from the ship to the first turbine?
They're about 11 miles, I think. The first one, is that right, Ranty?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so if you've got, let's just round it down to the ship being 6 miles and the first turbine being 11. That's another 5 miles, right?
I think it's a bit less than that. It's probably more like 4. I'm sure they're like 10 point something. So yeah, it's probably 4 miles difference, I would guess. But still, a significant difference. And this is bad news for the ballers.
Can we not go back and discuss about the floating egg?
No, you didn't.
I think this takes priority, Mark. I've got to be honest.
Really?
You like this, do you, Mark? I take it from your side.
No,
there's going to be. Hold on, I've got to get this in because there's going to be. Hold on. There's going to be Americans who don't get that sarcasm. That's very British humour that Mark just used. And some people won't understand what he meant by that. So maybe just dumb it down and clarify it in clear terms rather than sarcastic terms, Mark.
Well, we've missed Ranty. He's been distant for a few weeks, and all that the program has been discussing is happy tomatoes and floaty eggs. I'm so glad to see Ranty come back again and give us meat and potatoes, and that's all it is. Not eggs and tomatoes. It's meat and potatoes. Flat Earth proof.
I like it.
Absolutely. This is awesome, Ranty.
Hang on, Ranty. A big hug to you. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, group hug for Ranty.
Yeah, agreed. Pile on.
That's a good title for the show too. Not eggs and tomatoes, but meat and potatoes.
Round for scurvies for everybody. On me.
Potatoes, not potatoes. No. Lemons.
Yeah. This is cool.
Well, he smells like a fisherman.
The Earth is obviously and observably flat. And
well, one thing I want to point, I really do just want to point this out before we go, is this is the end of Carrying Furnace, and it drops off there. So if this is an Inferior Mirage carrying further on, so we've got Inferior Mirage carrying further on, right? That's the blockage. Anything, any land in the distance, any boat that's further away, you wouldn't see it. It would be hidden behind this Inferior Mirage because it would just be a blockage of repeating sky. That's all it would be. It would just look like sky. Except
Randy, question.
Yeah.
What is that little thing sticking up there? Is that like a person walking there? Or?
No, it's a telephone mast, I think, or something like that. I've actually evidenced it.
Hey, Alan, that really you?
It's about 50 foot high.
Hello, boys.
Right.
Hello.
Oh yeah.
So Ranty, go back to the fact that we had the sea truck at the horizon. So if you keep the horizon line, and let's just say it's 6 miles the same, how far back is the landmass?
Hang on, let's find
everything now.
Let's find what you're asking me. Hang on. Do you want to know what? Sorry.
Well, if the ship is at the horizon line, right? It's hitting the water, and you.
Most people, Rich. Just one.
Right, okay, so you think that that's the horizon line there?
But we could put
Alan, pipe down, buddy. It's my turn.
Right. Well, from an elevation of 50 feet, what would the horizon be? How far would the horizon be? Can somebody just quickly check that for me?
You mean using the curvature calculator?
Yes, please. Because this.
I'm not asking about the turbines anymore. I'm going back to the burning.
Yeah, no. Well, what I'm saying here is this is the perceived horizon. Yeah, this is the waves that are here.
Right.
So this boat is above that. So essentially, what it's saying is that from an elevation of 50 feet, this is the horizon line, which is probably what, 5.5 miles away. If the boat is 6 miles away, and I'm at an elevation of 50 feet, and this is the perceived horizon, right? This is what the Globers would say, is that there's the horizon line, and we needed...
If they didn't have any reference points, they will say that, yeah.
So Did you get that up for us, Arwin?
Just while you're doing that, so to answer your question, Travis, the buildings are about 18 miles away. About, say, 10 extra miles. Far more than double the distance to the boat from Ranty's position.
All right, Nathan, you're answering my question in terms of the landmass that he was just showing. So you're saying that the landmass is double the distance of the turbines?
Not double the distance, sorry, double the distance more than of the boat. The boat's about 7 miles, the turbines are about 10 miles, the landmass is about 18 miles.
Okay.
Right, I'll do it then, because...
so because of the effect, the closer you are to the, looking at the distance of 5 miles, you're going to see the horizon in a specific point. The further you go, you're going to see a different horizon. And the further you go, you're going to see a different horizon. So that's about it.
Right, Nathan, am I still displaying you?
You are, yeah.
So now we have another. So now we have another catchy phrase. There is no distance to the horizon.
Well, there isn't. No.
No,
this is
absolutely
what
Well, no, technically.
If we go 8.66 miles is the distance to the horizon, judging by the Earth curve calculator for an elevation of 50 feet, right? So when we look at the footage, and we know that this boat is only 6 miles, 6.5 miles away, yet the horizon looks lower than that, so it should be closer. So that absolutely smashes any idea that the horizon is 8.5 miles away. Because if that's the case, the horizon should be up here, essentially where this inferior mirage starts.
I mean, the horizon is just nonsense. It's an apparent position where the sky meets the ground. It's meaningless.
Correct. If you
It's
were
the
to
start
roll-
of the optical phenomena, basically. It's the start of where the miraging started. It's the start of the optical slant and all of that. But it is virtual. It is only a visible phenomena.
Right.
Part
It's
of
not an actual thing. It's not an actual point. Whereas if you're a globe head, it is an actual thing. It's the leading edge. No, the edge of the sphere that you're looking over. That's what it is if you're a globe head, despite the fact it changes with angle and changes with atmospheric conditions, and you know, things can seem to be higher than it. Because obviously if you're looking into the distance and the horizon is rising up to your eye level, the stuff that's further in the distance is going to be higher up than the stuff in the near foreground. And as you can see, that's what you get. You get a lower effect of this sea meeting the sky, and then there's the boat seemingly cresting above it, and there's the stuff going up and down with its inferior and inferior mirage on the turbines. Here we go. There it is. You know what you want. That line denotes the.
So stop it right there, Randy. Okay, so then you've got the yellow band right there before you've got the ocean line. So you've got the white part of the turbine, and then you've got the yellow. So there's an aspect in which I would say perhaps right in the middle would be the hard line in reality, because it's mirroring on itself. So if you cut it in half, then
you can see it from the ship, where the under part basically stops becoming sharp and turns into the wave. That's exactly that height.
There's actually there's actually two lines to take from here. One would be, this is because the boat's nearer, the inferior mirage is starting lower down on the boat because it's nearer. So where my cursor is right now, where the mouth sort of like curls back on itself, that's where the inferior mirage starts on the boat. However, because the turbines are further away, their inferior mirage start higher up. You know, so where my cursor is now, and if I put that line across to here, it wouldn't match up on the sea truck. Because
now, what about those two black? So look at the top of the yellow band on the far left, the three on the far left. You've got that black spot on each of them, and then they're both all mirrored below.
Yes, they are. So this would be the perceived. Well, basically, this would be the perceived horizon.
That's crazy.
Atmosphere going on.
And the further you go, if you got another row of turbines, the horizon will be perceived higher than that, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, most probably.
Well, the water is technically there, but you're seeing a reflection, basically.
Well, what we're seeing is where my cursor is right now, right on this particular turbine, so lower than the midpoint, right? If there was no atmospherics going on, we would see the remainder of the turbine right down to the floor. But where my cursor is now, that's where the blockage starts. So all this is blockage. Anything that you're seeing beneath my cursor right now is blockage, because that's just an inferior mirage creating a mirror that you cannot penetrate. You can't see through that. So anything that was, if there was a worker, let's say that, or there was a boat working on this turbine at the bottom here, and it was, let's say, 40 foot tall, or there's a human there 6 feet, you should be able to see, but you can't, because the inferior mirage is causing the blockage.
Well, it's not, it's the other way around. So the angular resolution at that angle is causing this to be stretched down and miraged. So in the case of your egg, you have exactly the same thing. At distance, you see a mirage of the egg, then you start to see the bottom section of it stretch, then eventually you see it disappear. So the same will apply to this, and you can see it in action. You can see literally the bottoms of the turbines closest to the sea truck disappearing before your eyes, from bottom up along that line, and they are disappearing with perspective. The bottom's coming up towards the top in terms of the mirror image going up towards its counterpart, the actual image, the top section. But as Travis just pointed out, there is a line that runs right through the middle of them, and it's higher than the line that the boat sits on. This is all in line with perspective. It's all in line with the viewing angle. That's what we're seeing. This is the diffraction limit of your camera, significantly improved over the P900. That's why we can see this. This is awesome.
No, it's really, really good footage, isn't it?
It is. I think that's probably the moment I'm going to use to round out the show. So I'm going to say, with that, first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. And of course, a massive thank you to all of the debating panel, especially Ranty, for making this debate possible. If you hated the show, then you know exactly what to do. If you liked it, maybe consider sharing it with a friend or subscribing if you have not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!